Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. Y'all have been asking for Weird Al, but I've already heard him quite a bit, in fact. Once upon a time, we, Elizabeth, thought that Amish Paradise was the original, not Gangster's Paradise, and it took quite a bit of convincing from her siblings to get that truth through to her. So, I'm very familiar with him. However, I've never heard Eat It. So, I'm going to listen to it now for the first time ever. Let's get to it. Whoa. There are so many fantastic things here immediately. First of all, I am so surprised by how accurate it seems that he's caught the original setting from Beat It. I just went back and rewatched that video. Michael Jackson is incredible. So first, this cafe setting is remarkably accurate. Even like the paint line in the back and the hat and the broody. And then the guys hopping off the edge sounding like monkeys has always made me think of Wizard of Oz, by the way. But the part that got me the most is that I think we have this new beatboxing technique that sounds a little bit like fart boxing. So I'll point that out again later. Here we go. Back to the beginning. Yeah, very similar synth sounds too. Yeah, monkeys, Wizard of Oz, right? Are those fart noises made with the mouth? It kind of sounds like it. And he's really found a good way to make some of them have a little bit more lingering. Some of them have a quicker attack, a quicker decay as well. I think when you're doing any sort of vocal percussion, it's important to think about what kind of percussive instrument you might be emulating. And it's very funny to me how I have a bunch of different types of fart noises that are being made. Let's go back a little bit. Oh my gosh.
How come you're always such a fussy young man? Don't want no Captain Crunch, don't want no Raisin Bran. Well, don't you know that other kids are starving in Japan, so eat it.
Oh my gosh. I knew that this had something to do with feeding young kids. Obviously, this is one of the reasons I wanted to watch this clip. There's other ones from Weird Al I haven't seen yet. But when I read some lyrics of this, I thought, oh my gosh, I relate right now feeding a one-year-old. Anyhow, we're going to talk about that a lot more. I think first, I am genuinely very impressed by how well he's emulated so many parts of the original video. It's crazy. Even the scenes, it seems very much echoes all the parts of Beat It. If you guys haven't seen these two back to back, I definitely suggest that you do. I watched Beat It again right before doing this, just so it would be super fresh in my mind. And I'm like catching all of these incredible details that have been added in. This production is very, very good. And I think that they were both done in the early 80s. Crazy. Fart boxing. Wait. The backing track is remarkably similar too. I remember thinking that kiss was quite insistent, and I appreciate that they took that 1 degree further. Like, don't just take a woman's head and fling it back like that. That wouldn't feel good. It might look cool for a camera, and so of course they've taken this and made the woman look like she got totally beheaded.
How come you're always such a fussy young man? Don't want no Captain Crunch, don't want no Raisin Bran. Well, don't you know that other kids are starving in Japan? So eat it, just eat it. Don't wanna argue, I don't wanna debate. Don't wanna hear about what kind of food you hate. You won't get no dessert till you clean off your plate. So eat it. Don't you tell me you're full,
Oh my
just
gosh.
eat it.
It's just so hilarious on so many levels. But before we go into the absolute humor of it all, I want to talk about what he's doing vocally that makes this especially fascinating to me. I've heard him sing, obviously, in other different styles and just ways that he's manipulated his voice for a particular cover. I think he's done something like over 150 covers and released a ton of different albums as well, has Grammys. Like, this is not like some lighthearted parody. This is intense, very purposeful, very detailed parody, and it's on all levels. Vocally, he's actually giving a certain pressure to the sound, sometimes making it sound a little bit more frayed at times. Definitely observing how Michael Jackson has incredible diction. And in my opinion, Michael Jackson has some of the best vocal rhythmic delivery out there, period. It's insane. It is just mind-boggling how he incorporates rhythm into every single aspect of his performance, but especially his vocal delivery. And if you look at the way that Weird Al's mouth is moving and the really crisp delivery, this is much more crisp and aggressive than some of his other music is. I'm going to go back to here-ish.
Such a fussy young man. Don't want no Captain Crunch, don't want no Raisin Bran. Well, don't you know that other kids are starving in Japan? So eat it.
Also, Michael Jackson, in this performance in particular, that sound is like really here in the face. And you can tell even by how Weird Al is moving his face, he's shifting his entire sound to be even more forward with a sort of wide approach at times to get closer to Michael Jackson's natural sound. Oh man, this is such a lesson in how you can morph your voice while still keeping parts of your own voice intact.
You're always such a fussy young man. Don't want no Captain Crunch, don't want no Raisin Bran.
Just gotta talk about those shorts, man. Wow. All of those bows. Nicely placed.
You're always such a fussy young man. Don't want no Captain Crunch, don't want no Raisin Bran. Well, don't you know that other kids are starving in Japan? So eat it, just eat it. Don't wanna.
Was it like a or something up in that was a cute sound.
Japan, so eat it, just eat it. Don't wanna.
There it's even panned left. That's hilarious. I definitely make sounds like that when I'm trying to get my little son to eat. It's like, oh, come on, pay attention to me. Open your mouth. This is a good thing. He loves pickles, like loves them so much so that if I offer pickles at a meal, he will stop eating everything else and only want pickles the rest of the meal. We have to stop giving him pickles. Also, they're really high in sodium, so probably should. But he just loves them so much. Oh, it's so hard to say no to a 1-year-old. Oops.
I don't want to debate. Don't want to hear about what kind of food you hate. You won't get no dessert till you clean off your plate. So eat it. Don't you tell me you're full, just eat.
I'm actually not totally sure where we're referencing, what part we're referencing with this alien. It feels like it might be something from Star Wars, which, by the way, holy crap, he has one of the most amazing Star Wars covers ever. Yeah, I find myself singing that one much more than the original. Anyhow, keep going.
Clean off your plate, so eat it. Don't you tell me you're full, just eat it. Eat it. Get yourself an egg and beat it. Have some more chicken, have some more pie. It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried, just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Oh!
Oh my gosh. Those layered vocals are hilarious. They're so stylized, the way that the lower one is so rounded, right? You can make that by sort of creating more space in the vocal tract here by rounding out your lips. If you create a longer tube, the sound is going to have resonance that increases like the deeper overtones essentially. Whereas if you create a smaller tube, often by having more smile, more teeth showing, sometimes that larynx will go up a little bit too. Don't exaggerate these too much, because that actually, if you do it briefly, can be really fun to create a sound. But don't do that normally for your voice, because it is a manipulation of the vocal tract, and sustaining that for a really long time is just not going to be a good thing to do. But in his case, the really wide, bringing up the larynx, that'll help everything get a little bit more forward, a little brighter. It accesses that brighter resonance. It's a little more brassy, essentially. And you can hear in the lower one how he's gone with that much longer tube and lower resonance. And then in the upper ones, it's kind of almost chirpy. Let's go back a little bit more.
Egg and beat it. Have some more chicken, have some more pie.
I love the character that he's doing here, but I have to just mention this thing with the chin up and pointed forward like that. That's terrible vocal singing position. This is a great acting position, right? We definitely get the frustration, but unless it's for a very brief moment of expression, I would not recommend regularly singing in that position.
It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried, just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Just eat it. Oh! Your table manners are a crying shame. You're playing with your food to sing some kind of game. Now if you starve to death, you'll just have yourself to blame. So eat it. Just eat it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that was the dance moves and the way that he ate the banana there. Oh my gosh. With Michael Jackson, he's so crisp, and I feel like we have like floppy that tries to go be crisp at one point, but then the face of the banana is just, it sends it totally over the top. It's amazing.
Manners are a crying shame. You're playing with your food to sing some kind of game. Now if you starve to death, you'll just have yourself to blame. So eat it. Just eat it. You better.
That burp was decent. As a pro burper who has had my burp featured in video games as monsters, I think that burp could be even better. I gotta say, like, I'd give it like a 5 out of 10. There are very many different aspects that go into burping, and at some point very soon, I'm going to explore burping and all of the mechanics surrounding it on the Singing Hole, our sister channel. So tune in over there, and we'll get you a burping video very, very soon.
Listen, better do what you're told. You haven't even touched your tuna casserole. You better chow.
That rhyme was priceless. What?
Told you haven't even touched your tuna casserole. You better chow down or it's gonna get cold. So eat it.
Ooh, okay, so listen to the way he's like adding some gravel into the sound. It's really, it feels very compressed in there. Again, really, I think trying to emulate the sort of almost just aggressive pressed style that Michael Jackson honestly somewhat naturally has.
You better chow down or it's gonna get cold, so eat it. I don't care if you're full, just eat it. Eat it. Open up your mouth and feed it. Have some more yogurt, have some more Spam. It doesn't matter if it's fresh or canned, just eat it.
Who gives their kids Spam? I'm sorry. Yogurt, yeah. Spam? I adore the absolute throwing. He's over the top in absolutely everything on the choreography. The choreography of this video is legendary. It is so fantastic. It is so sharp, so clean. He'll do these like crazy, like almost just spastic movements and then suddenly hold still. It's not that Michael Jackson just could move extremely well in in like a particular movement. It's that he knows how to suddenly hold still. And I think it's hilarious how Weird Al takes all of those like incredible series of movements and just makes them floppy and spastic, and then uh, looks at the camera with that amazing comedy. It's priceless. Look at that.
Bam! It doesn't matter if it's fresh or canned, just eat it! Eat it! Don't you make me repeat it! Have a banana, have a whole bunch. It doesn't matter what you had for lunch, just eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it.
Oh my gosh, it's even got the breathing there. I want to talk a little bit about how that sound might be brought more forward. And this, I really see him even in the video in different ways that he's positioning his tongue, um, emulating, I think, what he did when he was in the studio recording this with any sort of vowel that's going to feel like it's much more forward, much more brassy. Of course, you have the vocal tract that I was talking about, changing shapes to help create resonance that's going to be brighter, brassier. But additionally, the tongue is playing a huge role in how that sound is being created. And if you think about the tongue, it's this really weird, very frustrating muscle to learn how to be very precise with when you're singing. It's very, very important. The back of the tongue actually sits on top of that entire laryngeal structure. So there's so many different things that we can do with our tongue that can totally disrupt or aid in singing. Now, back here, if the back, like not totally the root of the tongue, which is the part that goes more on top of your larynx, but there's this like back arc, which some people might even refer to more as middle of the tongue. That, if it's raised more, it's going to be directing the sound more forward. Also, you have a little less space in there for stuff to reverberate around. And any of these vowels that I'm hearing, like eat it, I'm not hearing any sort of roundness on the eat it, which would feel more operatic to me, but actually more of a closed mouth, that higher tongue in the back, eat it. It's going even banana, all of that stuff. It feels like the tongue is really far up in the back, just about as far as you can go to get that sound to go far forward. And also I hear a lot of soft palate drop, making it more nasal. And I think that's just part of this entire character, but definitely brings it more forward at the same time. Let's hear that again.
Make me repeat it. Have a banana, have a whole bunch.
tongue
It
is really
doesn't
high.
matter what you had for lunch, just eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it. Eat it, eat it, eat it, eat it.
Side note, if you hear gasping like that, that's not actually helping somebody get more breath. That's actually reducing the amount of air you can take in, because the sides of your airway have closed in to create some friction to create that sound. So if you go, "Ah," that's you taking in air quite slowly versus just going big breath in, like a big surprise breath. That's a lot of air all at once. Oh my gosh. Incredible. I learned today that Eddie Van Halen is the person that originally played that guitar solo. I think that is incredible. Incredible, because I've just started dabbling into Van Halen a little bit, and it's so fun to see those things connect. And this was actually, I think, Weird Al's producer that did the solo here. It's such a cool solo. Like, what a cool original design. And I love the way that it feels like it does so much in such little time. Let's go back. Oh, that was really cool. It's incredible, right? Fork and spoon. Oh my gosh, are they holding a rubber chicken between them? I think they're holding a rubber chicken. Yes, it's a rubber chicken. Incredible. If you've ever played the game of spoons, you know how violent that can get. So just saying, spoons can do a lot of damage. Wow, that was a really good high call there. Man, kudos. Way to. I mean, that is not easy to do. So wow, nice high call. But I was originally going to stop to talk about how frustrating it is when you give your child a beautifully cooked meal. It's like so many amazing things. You've got butternut squash with some cinnamon, maybe a teensy bit of brown sugar. And then there's like a salt and pepper version of that too, just in case we need like a salty version, like a sweet and salty. And then they've got quinoa, maybe even some like quinoa that's mixed in with yogurt because he loves yogurt. And then there's things like beans, right? Beans are supposed to be great for everybody. He loves both, black beans and hummus. And all he wants are pickles, just pickles. And yogurt. Yogurt is good. Yogurt's good. Okay, anyhow, the woes of a new parent figuring all these things out for the first time. It's fun. I'm not gonna lie, it's still fun.
Have a big dinner, have a light snack. If you don't like it, you can't send it back. Just eat it, eat it. Get yourself an egg and beat it. Have some more chicken, have some.
The way he fell over there. This dance choreography, again, legendary. It does really look like it would send somebody off. What's the picture in the background? Oh my, sorry. Side note, what is that? Is that the Amish parrot? Is that referencing that? I don't know when they were done together. Anyhow, I love the way he almost fell over in that dance choreography because it is like so snappy. I could see somebody completely losing their balance.
Yourself an egg and beat it. Have some more chicken, have some more
such a good high
fries.
note.
It doesn't matter if it's boiled or fried. Just eat it. Don't you make me repeat it.
Amazing. Wow. I've always appreciated Weird Al as an artist. I think it takes more than just incredible wit to be really good at parody. And hearing how he morphed his vocal track to be more like Michael Jackson, yet still brought comedy into it and took it overboard at the same time as having still some Weird Al in it, that is a very careful balance that requires a ton of vocal prowess. And I feel more impressed than ever by what I've heard him do today. So if you would like to join me in appreciating more comedy, you can check out this list of analysis videos over here, and may you fall more in love with music every day.